These 8 crazy glitches are ruining Madden 23 and need to be fixed ASAP. Starting with the QB run glitch, one of the craziest glitches I've seen in a long time. This glitch pretty much allows for everybody on defense to ignore you if you're playing zone defense, and if you're playing man defense, while they will recognize you, you can still get crazy easy rushing yards every play with your quarterback. Now, we've seen glitches like this in the past where your QB would be ignored or not be able to be tackled, and this is just the latest one that is surfaced in Madden 23. It's not too widespread yet, and I'm not going to tell you how to do it here, but if you're running into this online like many players have started to, it's super annoying. You literally can't play zone defense. Man defense is a little bit better, but it's still very overpowered. And from what I've heard, your best bet is having a QB spy, maybe multiple QB spies and QB contains. But when you're worried about such a crazy glitch like this, it just opens up everything else for the player who's using this glitch on offense. It's super ridiculous, and this absolutely needs to be patched with the next title update, or else online play is going to become even more toxic than it already is. The freeze glitch. It seems like every year we have a new disconnect glitch or a freeze glitch. I don't know how people find these things out, but they do every single year. They find a way to get you stuck in a game to where you're either going to have to wait it out or you just have to quit and take the L. You've probably run across this if you're playing online, and you're going to continue to run across it until it gets fixed. If you're winning a game and your screen just gets locked up and you can't do anything, you've been freeze glitched. You can either leave and take the L, or you can try to wait out the person that's glitching you. Some people are impatient and they might give up after 15 to 30 minutes. Some people will literally leave their console on for 24 to 48 hours, and they will not leave until you do first, in which you kind of just have to take the L. Now, this will definitely get you permanently banned from the game if you get caught doing it, which is pretty likely because most people nowadays have some type of recording software, or they'll just record it on their phone and they'll send it to the EA dev that is responsible for banning these players. So if you're one of the people out there doing it, just know it's only a matter of time before your account gets permabanned. The RPO glitch. Every single year since RPO has been put in the game, there has been one glitch or another with these plays. They've never worked 100% properly. Some of them do, but there's always at least a few in the game that people have found ways to glitch. And this year is no different. There's a few different RPO plays where you literally can get guys wide open, or you can get guys in the flats that the defense will ignore most of the time. Now, unlike the other glitches, there are ways to kind of work around this glitch, but the average player has no clue what's going on and why players are running wide open. If you run man press versus some of these plays, you're giving up a one-play touchdown. If you run almost any other kind of defense, you're going to quickly give up a wide open flat pass if you don't know how to adjust. Now, I did post how to do it on my Patreon page because over there, everybody wants to know everything going on with the game. They want to know what to expect, what's coming, and they want to know what they can do to stop it. But if you've been hit with the RPO glitch, it's really not the craziest glitch in the game. You can stop it. In fact, Zan posted on his channel everything you need to know about stopping it, which I will also link below in the pinned comment in case you've run into this. But for the average player, they're not going to understand why their guys are just leaving people wide open, and I think this needs to be patched because while there are ways around it, it's not supposed to work exactly like this either. The open man glitch. This is another super crazy glitch going around right now. Again, I kind of had to post this one on my Patreon because people need to know what's going on with the game over there, and I also told them how to stop it, which isn't very hard. But if you haven't run across this, this is an absolutely crazy glitch where there's a certain play that is bugged where they don't recognize one of the players on the field, and basically you can get this player wide open versus any type of man defense. If you run man defense, the guy will be pretty much invisible to the defense. He will be uncovered, and you can just streak him for a one-play touchdown. It's absolutely insane, and we have seen some glitches like this in the past. I think that's something that's become very typical with Madden, and the fact that there's so much old game code and they have never actually rebuilt the game from the ground up, you see a lot of the same glitches from previous years creep their way back into the game one way or another, and this is one of those. We've had this type of a glitch almost every year in Madden in one play or another, and people have found the play this year, and you can get a guy wide open to where you really cannot run man defense on this play. If you want to run man blitz, which a lot of people do this year, this play literally gives up a touchdown every single time. However, zone defense does stop it, so that's good, but it pretty much eliminates an entire style of defense because they can't recognize this guy is on the field. The cloud flat glitch. This has been a problem, I believe, since the beta period of the game, and it still hasn't been fixed. Now, again, this isn't one of the craziest ones, but it does make running cover 2 a lot harder than it should be. If you press a cover 2, the cloud flats will literally never get back in time. Even if you set your zone drops to drop 30 yards back, they will backpedal so slow and you will get receivers over the top of them every time. Cover 2 is not that popular this year, and this is why, because the cloud flats are so easy to get over the top of, even with your zone drop set, that it's very risky to run it. And even if you don't pressure cover 2, while it's a little bit better, it's still very easy to get over the top of them, much easier than it has been in years past, because they just backpedal so slow. This is something I thought would for sure be fixed by now after multiple updates of the game, but for some reason, this thing is still creeping around and making one of the most popular styles of defense very difficult to run in Madden 23, and if they could get this fixed, that would make defense a little bit better, which right now we kind of need because offense has kind of gotten a lot more powerful over the last couple updates. The aggressive catch glitch. Now I know this one's going to be controversial because a lot of people love aggressive catching in Madden, and it's been kind of useless for a lot of years, but while I agree that a tall receiver should be able to win versus a smaller defensive back more often than not, right now it's completely overpowered and you can win them pretty much every time. You can put 4 streaks on the field and you just have to find the one-on-one, throw it at a certain angle with the high ball, and you will win the catch at least 80% of the time. And if you have an ability to go with this, you're pretty much going to catch it 95% of the time. Even if you're double covered, you're going to still catch it a good majority of the time. And the other part about this that is bad is that even when you're double covered and you knock the ball loose, defenders rarely catch tipped interceptions anymore, so there's almost no risk to throwing these passes, and that's the problem. If one-on-ones are being won at a high rate, I'm fine with that, but even in double coverage, the risk versus reward just isn't there anymore, because at best you're going to make the catch maybe half the time, but the other half of the time is more than likely going to be an incomplete pass, which means there's really not that much risk for the offense to just throw this every single time. I've watched people play this game lately and they literally just throw streak aggressive catches every play. Someone's going to be one-on-one, and when you mix abilities with this, it's pretty much unstoppable. And I know some people are going to say, I still can't aggressive catch the ball. That's just because you're not doing it the right way. If you use the right pass lead with the high pass and you know how to time this right, you will literally catch it almost every time. It can literally be your entire offense, at least on the next gen version of the game. On the old gen version, it might not work the same way, but on the next gen, this is the most powerful tactic in the game right now. The franchise mode glitches. I can't even say one glitch here because this is just such a long list of glitches that were supposed to be fixed with the update that dropped last week, and they weren't. Some of them might have been, but I've been getting reports that a lot of these same glitches are still there, like the draft glitch, like the franchise mode completely resetting, kicking people out for inactivity, and you can just go on and on at this point. Franchise mode is still unplayable, at least online CFMs, for a lot of people, and I wish I could just pinpoint 1 or 2 things here that need to be fixed, but it's just not the case. It's the entire mode, and there's a number of different things that are still causing people to not be able to play the game, so an entire mode for a big portion of the community has been rendered useless since launch, and it's still bad. And finally, the field pass glitch, because I know some people think Ultimate Team just doesn't have any problems, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Ultimate Team has had a lot of problems this year. The field pass has been one of the most consistent since the start. Rewards are still not tracking, games are still not tracking. Heck, half the time I try to click on the field pass and I can't even get inside of it. It keeps saying that I'm not connected to the server, or it's just kicking me out completely. Now, it has been said if you restart your entire game each time you get on, that this will maybe be a little bit better, but it's not even foolproof, because I do that every time now and I still are running into issues with the field pass where I can't even see my progress. I can't see what I have to do to get further progress, and I can't even get things to track correctly half the time, so I don't even know if I'm going to be rewarded for the time I'm putting in or not. Now that we're done with the glitches, I want to let you know about 10 hidden features that exist in Madden 23 that you don't know about. Check that video out right here on the screen. You'll be surprised.